Evening. Well, I doing this in the hotel room because I listened to the audio on the one last night and it didn't work out with that rain and stuff like that. You just couldn't hear anything. So uh, doing the kind of a introspective look at the glamorous hotel rooms that I stay at when I'm on the road. This one in particular is the Super 8 in Newton, Iowa, just off Interstate 80. Not on US 6, but that's fine. Um, I was supposed to stay out in kind of the fields on the prairie tonight, but it's just been raining all day. As soon as I left Iowa City at about 5 o'clock, it started pouring down raining. I stopped in Grinnell at this little restaurant, kind of sat there, and I was just planning to kind of stay there for a little um, while it got dark, and then kind of head over towards where I was planning on sleeping right before it got dark, and then just started pouring down raining again. So the uh, the land and the roads, if they're not paved, are just a mess right now, and it's all flooded, and so it's not a good scene out there. So I thought I would just get a cheap hotel room, and ended up getting being really cheap. One secret I use when I travel in order to save money is when you stay at these chain hotels like these Super 8s, which is part of the Wyndham chain, um, which includes stuff like let's see, Baymont, Wyndham, Wingate, and stuff like that. And there's a few others. But anyway, when you do that, if you do a Google search for the chain name and then rate code, whatever the chain name is, and then plus rate code. Typically, people post corporate rate codes that you can use. Now, um, it's generally about the same, but maybe a little bit cheaper than what you would find if you use AAA. But the problem is, if you use AAA, they require an ID typically. They're supposed to check ID. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. And then there's AARP rates also, but if you don't look like you're over 60, then you're probably not going to get an AARP rate. And then there's also the government rate, but again, a lot of times they're supposed to check IDs. This is probably I have the tripod as I keep having to switch arms because my arm gets tired. I ended up getting actually a really good sandwich in Grinnell. I stopped at this little market, picked up a 6 pack of Iowa beer, and just gonna sit here and watch TV for the rest of the night. Maybe finish up the blog, download some pictures. So it's disappointing, but I don't feel that bad because I'm in a cheap hotel room, and I got a cheap hotel tomorrow for the next 3 nights in Omaha. So tomorrow is I'm gonna go back into Newton. There's a couple things I want to do. Newton's a cool town. It's where Maytag was located for a number of years. I think until the mid '90s, they finally shut down the plant. I know the plant's been repurposed, but they have a bunch of other stuff that's kind of come along with that. One big thing is if you ever come across it is Maytag Dairy, which makes a fantastic blue cheese. And I guess they have some kind of presence here in Newton. I saw it from the interstate, so I'm gonna go back over there tomorrow morning and see what kind of cheese I can get because I like my cheese. And then I'll spend some time in Des Moines and go through to Omaha. Um, Iowa City was cool. At the least I got my bike fixed, which was helpful. Some major problems with the brakes. It was actually kind of unsafe to ride, so it was well worth it. And then got to see the town and got to ride around a little bit, so that was nice. And the weather was bad like all day. Like if it wasn't raining, it was crazy windy. But at least it wasn't cold. At least it wasn't snowing, so I can't complain too much. So we see how we do tomorrow. And I'll blog about it tonight.